most disrespected person in America is the black woman. The most unprotected person in America is the black woman. The most neglected person in America is the black woman.
On October the 25th of 2020, Andrea Lloyd took to her Facebook page to pose a question. She said, "So last night I had a dream about two black snakes. One I was able to catch and throw. The other one bit me. What does that mean?" Several people tried to answer that question, but the one that stands out is the last answer to the question. Terrella Thomas wrote, "Usually a snake symbolizes an enemy or a threat. There are some people in your inner circle that you need to be aware of. One will be exposed to you before they can cause you harm. The second one will hurt you."
More now on a developing story we're following for you this morning. Miami-Dade police are searching for clues after they say a woman is attacked and then abducted. This morning, family members waiting for news about what happened to her.
CBS 4's Brooke Schaefer is live from Miami-Dade Police Headquarters in Doral with what they're saying about the investigation. Brooke, good morning.
Maribel, Keith, good morning. That woman's family says they know something is wrong. This morning, Miami-Dade police still searching for that missing mom of two.
Everybody know me. I don't beg for nothing. But I'm begging for my daughter to come home.
This morning, this South Florida dad begging for answers. His daughter, Andrea Lloyd, beaten and kidnapped, police said. Abducted from her job at this South Miami-Dade group home.
For her not to have contacted any of us, something is wrong.
Miami-Dade police said the 27-year-old mom of two was at work when a man showed up just after midnight yesterday.
This male proceeded to batter her and eventually, during the altercation, pushed her inside of a vehicle and drove off in an unknown direction.
Police said she was dragged and forced into a white Honda Civic with Florida tag Y650DL. Andrea's family tells us they think they know who her attacker is, but were asked by police to keep it to themselves for now. Her family and her two young boys just want her home.
It's hard because, you know, she's the type of person, she always calls her dad.
That family and detectives asking for your help this morning. If you know anything, you're asked to call Miami-Dade Police or Crime Stoppers. That number, 305-471-TIPS. I'm live in Doral. Brooke Schaefer, CBS 4 This Morning.
And so this is another couple that if you look at their Facebook, you would think that they were the most loving, the most sweetest couple that you could ever see. Everything that I saw when she posted pictures of them two together was uplifting and nurturing. They were, what is the love language? I can't think of it, but they were uplifting words. So in this post, she says, 7 years of the game, ain't no stopping here. Happy anniversary, Poppy. Which is weird because the father, in one of the videos, he said they had been together for 11 years. And I know from their Facebook that they were engaged. But either way, they were together for a very long time. And the pictures that you see, they look so loving. The relationship looks so healthy. You remember back in the day when you were able to say, I don't trust anything that I hear. I only trust what I see with my own two eyes. Well, nowadays, you can't even trust what you see with your own two eyes because everything that glitters is literally not gold. Obviously, there were things going on in this relationship. I did read some information that he kept cheating on her. I saw his stepkids. It looked like he may have stepped out and had some kids on her, but I'm not sure. So let's not put that down as fact, just from my observation and from my research. But her father did make a statement that she was planning on leaving him because she was tired of him stepping out on her. And the father said she was a wife, so she wanted to be a wife. And the thing is, they already had 2 children together, and then she was pregnant. She was only like a month pregnant So it must have gotten to the point where she put her foot down and was like, I'm definitely leaving. And he must have believed her because he showed up at her job at a group home, dragged her out of the house, and literally beat the hell out of her. This girl looks like she is 100 pounds soaking wet. And he physically beat her up and then murdered her. They haven't told exactly how he murdered her, but let's hear more of the story.
Live, the one and only Local 10 News starts right now.
Right now, the desperate search for a pregnant mother of two who was abducted from her home in Southwest Miami-Dade. Investigators say Andrea Lloyd was working when she was beaten and abducted.
This all happened on Tuesday, and no one has heard from that 27-year-old nurse since then. Let's get right over to Local 10's Annalise Garcia. She's live in Homestead, where the search is underway right now. Annalise.
Hey, Christy, Alexis. Yeah, police, or a source close to the investigation, is telling us that police received a call that the boyfriend of this missing 27-year-old was spotted in this area. They said that the call came in, that it said that he was in the bushes. That's when someone responded. We actually have Sky 10 up right now live. You can take a look at the search. You can see police blocked off this area of Southwest 328th Street off of 137th Avenue. It's Miami-Dade police here on scene, as well as the city of Homestead. Now, family was able to actually get through at one point, but police moved them back again. Police are searching in the areas parallel to that dirt road that you see there. I was able actually to speak to the girl's father out here just before they moved us back. The father just tell us that the girl's boyfriend that was spotted here was a suspect yesterday, but that he was let go. We can't confirm much of what's going on. We are just learning as we are just getting here and speaking to the people out here. But we do know that this is all connected to the disappearance of 27-year-old Andrea Lloyd.
I'm holding on to hope, and I'm praying to God that she comes home.
Andrea Lloyd's family got the call early Tuesday morning. The beloved mother of two young boys, currently pregnant with her third, is missing.
We don't know where she is. Obviously, there's foul play. Obviously, someone has hurt her and abducted her. It's the worst day of our lives.
But what's more gut-wrenching is how the abduction played out. From this home just east of the Turnpike on Southwest 285th Terrace, Sky 10 was over the scene earlier in the day as detectives scoured the crime scene. It was around midnight when Andrea was an hour into her shift as a caretaker for residents with mental disabilities. There was a knock at the door, and Andrea answered it. Cameras from a neighboring home across likely captured what happened next. Cops say the male figure suddenly attacked, beating the woman.
Knocked her down, threw it in the car, and took off.
Andrea was abducted in her own car at her job. The car is a white Honda Civic with the license plate Y650DL.
She's the mother of two children, and she's loved by the whole entire family. No enemies. Everybody loved her. Everybody loved her.
This family is just wondering who could carry out such a violent act.
She was familiar. She was familiar with the person. She's not the type of person that would have conversations or open a door for a stranger. But she was at her work with the door closed.
Now, this search is still underway behind me. Police have this street blocked off here. It's 137th Avenue and 328th Street that's blocked off. The road, the farm areas parallel to that road is where police are currently searching. Again, if you know anything at all, there's very concerned family and friends out here. You are urged to call law enforcement. For now, I'm live in Southwest Miami-Dade. Annalise Garcia, Local 10 News.
Annalise, thank you. And we want to take another look at Andrea Lloyd here. You can see her face. If you see her, if you know where she could be, you are urged to call 911 right away.
And so up until this point, they were still saying that she had disappeared. They were calling the suspect who kidnapped her a male, and they were acting like they had no clue of who done it. However, the family was pretty sure of who had done it, but the police wanted the family to keep quiet. But if you look at her last post from December the 2nd, her last post on December the 2nd was a post by John Finesse Douglas at 8:40 a.m. It said, "Narcissist manipulators, let's get into it. People who unintentionally attack you and hurt you, then once they hurt you and you react, they are upset at how you reacted to the intentional hurt they did to you. Try to turn it on you to add more hurtful things to make it seem like you're the problem or at fault for how they did you, when in fact, you did absolutely nothing to them to cause their reason for the unintentional hurt or attack. Not once will they think to apologize, because remember, once you reacted to what they did to you, you then became the problem and now they are the victim. They hold zero accountability. They see no wrong in what they did, only in how you reacted. These will be the same people who say they love you and care for you. Feel free to correct me where I'm wrong. Oh, and good morning. Now, this is so true. There are so many narcissists running rampant in the Black community these days, and it's not like it's anything new. I just feel like we finally got a chance to put a name to it. Being the victim of narcissistic relationships myself in the past, this is so true. What you have caused, basically, when you call them out on their stuff, is a narcissistic injury. And so whenever they have a narcissistic injury, they have to hurt you, meaning verbally, physically, whatever they have to do to gain back the power they feel like they lost whenever you expressed yourself. So I feel like her posting this, the last thing that she posted on her page, lets you know that she was definitely talking about him, and he was definitely the one that murdered her. Imagine, ladies, you're the one getting cheated on, but you're the one also that needs to be murdered. How does that make sense? Make it make sense. It doesn't. So what happened was, it got to the point where they kept looking for her, and then they discovered him.
Nervous in a whole lot of things, because you got a young man that's out in the bushes and not knowing what to expect.
Tonight at 11, the family of a missing mother abducted from Southwest Miami-Dade yesterday leads police to the place where human remains are found. Investigators have not confirmed that those remains belong to 27-year-old Andrea Lloyd.
But we do know that her family saw her boyfriend in that area before police took him into custody. CBS 4's Jessica Vallejo spoke to the family tonight and joins us live from Southwest Miami-Dade with more. Jessica?
That's right, Lauren and Elliot. What I did speak to Andrea Lloyd's uncle, and he says that him and other family members actually followed the boyfriend into this wooded area, and that's when police responded. But tonight, what we do know is that Miami-Dade police have found human remains. They have not been identified, but a source did tell us that they belong to a female. Investigators searched through this homestead wooded area into the night looking for any signs of Andrea Lloyd. While Miami-Dade police confirmed they found human remains that have not been identified, a source tells CBS 4 News they are remains of a female that were found next to this black pickup truck, the same truck that was last seen driven by the woman's boyfriend.
All I can say is God's will.
Her uncle, Manuel Lloyd, said his niece followed Andrea Lloyd's boyfriend since she had gone missing on Tuesday. When she spotted him on Wednesday, Manuel and other family members approached him together as he was pacing next to this truck that was stuck off the side of the road.
Yeah, he seemed nervous in a whole lot of things, because you got a young man that's out in the bushes and not knowing what to expect. But at that moment, he was just walking around. My nephew done called him and caught him. And when he called him, he said, "Where are you going?" And he took his phone from him. He said, "Who are you calling?" He said, "That's my phone. Give it to me."
That's when police responded to the scene.
The family member called us. We responded immediately. We observed the boyfriend, and we have detained him. One of our canines alerted to an area, a heavily wooded area.
Miami-Dade police say Lloyd was working at this group home near Homestead when someone showed up around 12:30 Tuesday morning, beat her, dragged her to her car, and drove off. A source told CBS 4 News she knew the attacker and was comfortable opening the door at the group home for him.
She opened the door for him, and they yanked out, throwed her down, grabbed her, threw her in her own car, and drove away.
Andrea Lloyd is a month pregnant and expecting her third child.
She got two babies, one and 5, you know, and they need their mom. They need the mom. That's my heart. She's my everything.
And tonight, Andrea Lloyd's boyfriend remains detained and he is being questioned. I'm live in Homestead, Jessica Vallejo, CBS 4 News Tonight.
And so, ladies, we find ourselves back to the same situation. Another beautiful, successful Black woman is murdered at the hands of someone who's supposed to love her. Andrea had a lot going for herself. She was 27 years old. Her birthday was December the 13th, and she would have turned 28. But she was working in a group home as a medical assistant or a nurse. I'm not clear. But she also did hair. She also had a clothing, like a business, a boutique online. I mean, she was doing what Black girls do, making Black girl magic. And this man took her out. He did not take himself out, though, but he took her out. He took her away from his kids, their kids. And not only that, he took himself away from their kids, because I doubt by the time he see those kids, they'll be grown. So he didn't care anything about the children. He didn't care that they would grow up without a mother or a father. He just cared that he wanted to be able to cheat, and she was supposed to accept it, and they were supposed to go on and pretend to have this happy life on Facebook. This story, as we stated before, it was every 8 hours when I first started, and then it went to every 6 hours, and the last time I checked, it was down to every 5 hours. And I hate to see when it gets down to every 1 hour or every 30 minutes. This is happening in our communities, ladies. We got to protect ourselves. In this situation, I feel like there was no way she could protect herself. She'd been with this man for 9 or 11 years. Like, he knew he was ingratiated into the family. Like, he was part of her family. Like, there was no way she could escape him, I feel. There was no way. But she probably never thought that he would turn around and murder her. And he did. And so, like I said, we just got to protect ourselves. We just got to pay attention to the signs. But sometimes the signs won't be there. And sometimes, unfortunately, we'll just end up being another casualty. And it's sad. It's very sad. Because if you look at their life, it looks like they had a very, very good life. But like I said, in these days, you can't believe what you see. You can't believe what you hear. You can't believe anything, basically. Like, we're living in some trying times, and I don't know, it's just sad. She was a beautiful young lady. I hate that her life was taken away in that manner. And everything that I read, friends and people that knew her coworkers, everybody was saying, how could you do that to her? She was so sweet. But he could do it to her because he was a narcissist, and she caused a narcissistic injury. And he was hurt that she called him out and she discovered what he was doing, and she put her foot down and said she was leaving. This story is sad. May Andrea Lloyd rest in peace. You guys take care of yourselves. And unfortunately, and I say unfortunately because I do not like to discover these stories, but unfortunately, I will see you on the next video.